I think our IT policies are very, very progressive, very, very aligned with the need of the country and aligned with the need of country being a part of an overall global marketplace. So if you see, there is one end where India need to take care that we are a developed nation. Digital economy need to drive a big part of the overall economy. So the IT policy needs to make sure that the private sector, which where you can say a whole lot of innovation takes place, is incentivized to continue innovating, creating new and new technologies. And that is where we see that whether it is the semiconductor mission, where the government is now trying to bring manufacture CPUs in and let's say all type of chips in India itself, which will give a fillip to the IT sector. Also, it will make us more self-reliant and Atmanirbhar, which is the need of the hour. Whether it is giving production-linked incentives to the private sector so that they are incentivized to bring in manufacturing of, let's say, hardware, which practically we all use: laptop, desktop, mobiles, and critical servers. Everything is manufactured in India, and again it is giving a push to the IT sector. It's giving push to Atmanirbhar and the self-reliance and all. Or if you see that there are schemes, there was always a ITES policies at a central level, and there were these policies at a state levels also, who were always incentivizing by way of either fiscal incentives or making it easy for doing business for people. And I think India obviously has gone far ahead in terms of ease of doing business already. What I can see, being from data center and cloud industry, I can also specifically mention about that in the last few years the government have realized that data centers and cloud is one big asset for the country. Because any and every technology which you and me are using in our day-to-day life, clicking something on mobile or laptop or desktop, or our sensors which are there anywhere, all those clicks ultimately are going into some data center, some cloud at the back end. And that processing, storage, analytics, everything is happening in some data center. So unless India has got a strong foundation, strong infrastructure of data centers, the IT cannot succeed. So in the last 6-7 years, I can see the central government, the Ministry of IT, also all the state governments have ended up coming with data center policies. And if you see the type of benefits, today you talk to any bureaucrat, you talk to any political leader, it is so heartening to see that they are talking your language, they are talking development language, they are understanding your concerns. And if you just take a note of any policy of any good state, so progressives, they will give you, for example, you have needs of making a specific type of data center, so specific type of land, for example, use, the laws have to be changed, they have accommodated. We wanted too much of a power, we wanted green power, they are giving you incentives on, let's say, electricity duties, they are trying to make it cheaper, they are pushing us to bring more green energy. So if I try to see this multiple like facets of the overall IT ecosystem, government is trying to address all those facets in various ways. Maybe I've spoken about 3 or 4 facets, but there may be multiple facets. But I can clearly say this government is hugely progressive. They are not only IT enabler by way of making the right regulations, but they also are becoming the biggest consumer of IT, because the biggest need of IT is actually in government, which we can see in our lives, that government services are now becoming digitized and we all are consuming as citizens. So this is something I would say the country is absolutely in the right direction. Obviously, more and more technologies are coming in. Artificial intelligence has suddenly come, or rather rushed into our lives. So while there are a lot of positives which are coming with AI, but at the same time we know there's so much of concern areas about what can be the negative consequences of AIs. So a lot of discourses, and I know the discussions are going on in terms of how to control AI, how to make AI ethical. So I think lots have been done in terms of IT policy, absolutely in the right direction, and lots need to be done, and the thought process in the government is there for that already. I think maybe I answered this question already in my first answer, but fundamentally the need is that the leaders, the people who are responsible for making policies and laws themselves remain aware. They themselves are as knowledgeable, right, and aware about what is happening in IT. They are themselves as savvy and are able to give direction, right, to the country's policies, to make sure that whether it is government, whether it is private sector, whether it is startups, whether it is research labs, educational institutions, all of them are able to move in the right direction from an IT point of view. So what I can see very clearly is, whether you talk right from Prime Minister, we all know how digital savvy he is and how he's the one who is the brain and the whole guidance behind country's digital initiatives. Or you see it, the IT Minister, Mr. Vaishna, or you see Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar, you meet the bureaucrats in MIT, or for that matter anywhere, the adaptability, the flexibility, the thinking pattern of development. And I can again share with you certain things that because of this AI thing coming suddenly in our lives, and suddenly this chat GPT, because it came in our personal life suddenly, that's why everybody started realizing the need of AI much more. But so quickly the things are moving in terms of how India can be enabled to have a big ecosystem where startups are incentivized to build India's own LLM models, India's own AI models. People like us who are infrastructure people are incentivized to build that AI cloud, the GPU cloud, which is needed for India to be a power in AI. So what I'm saying is that they did many great policies. They also came with Digital Data Protection Act also, which obviously was a step in the right direction, to protect citizens' personal data. But nobody is sitting after doing certain things. They already have achieved lots of things, but as the new technology landscape is coming in, new technologies are coming in, the leaders are coming immediately to handling these new challenges, and they are trying to adapt to that and coming out quickly. And one good thing also, which I think I've seen in the current leadership and this current government actually is, and this I think is across all ministries, I see it obviously mostly in IT, the level of industry consultation which I've seen is humongous. It is like you are talking to industry as a peer with a clear thing that we are the people who will make policies, but we are not the people who will make things. Execution lies with private sector. So that realization that private sector is where the innovation will happen, private sector is where maybe the skill sets are there, private sector is where the capital can come in. So they are the executors. They need to be given support, but we will not end up doing the things. We are the ones who will make the right regulations and policies, and we will be supporting them and motivating them. So I think government is understanding this role pretty well. There's so much of consultations which are happening before any new policy or a law or act is coming in, and even otherwise, like when we are going, we feel very invited in the corridors of power, which I think never used to be the case earlier. So I think we're in the very right direction.